This is Hindsight Radio.
I represent it.
The information station changing the nation. You're listening to the MOOR Empire Building Show with your host, Akeem L. on Hindsight Radio.
Peace. What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to the MOOR Empire Building Show with your host, Akeem L. here on Hindsight Radio, the information station changing the nation. Hope everybody's doing good. I'm doing great. Everything's going well. Keep getting good news. People are taking advantage of the opportunity to correct their nationality, correct their status through these governmental agencies, putting them on notice as to who they are. And they are getting women. And a lot of them are doing it without resistance. You know, the more we do it, the more they will allow us to do what we need to do without obstructing us. As long as we go in there with the right positive attitude, we get what we want. You know, if you go in there with an idea of resistance and these people are going to stop me, or even with the idea or the fear in your mind that you're not supposed to be doing it. I'm doing something wrong. Or the idea, I'm going against the system. Well, if you're thinking like that, that means you believe that the system is God, is your God. If you feel like you're in fear of what they might say or do when you go in there and you do these things, most people, 99% of them that I see that have resistance or meet resistance, I've already picked up in them that they already have an idea in their mind of resistance, and that's why they're receiving it. And a lot of them don't accept that as a reason, but if they stop and really think about it, they're not exempt from the laws of nature, the laws of the universe, the law of the God mind. They're not exempt from that. Everybody experiences what they think, and they receive it in their reality. It's where it is. Except that is a reality. What my mind conjures up, I will see it and manifest it physically, eventually. If I do it enough, repeat it over and over and over and over again, I will experience that which I perceive. So why not think on things positive? Why not think on being wealthy, healthy, having peace in your life? Dwell on those things, good things. Whatever is good, you dwell on it. Keep the negative away. Now, some months ago, I even read the scripture. It says, dwell on these things. Love, peace, prosperity. If you constantly keep your mind focused on that, it will be very difficult for hard times to find its way to you. Now, you will meet situations where, hang on. Come on, LB. Give me a second, Sorry. You might meet situations that may appear difficult, but you have to control your mind and stop. Look at the situation in its totality, and it will reveal itself that it's not as extreme as you thought it to be. That's why it always says it's better for an ending of a matter than its beginning. Because the beginning, you can't perceive what's going to happen at the end. But when the end, you say, well, that wasn't too bad. Yes, dwell on good things, healthy things. Announcement, again, we have a seminar in Atlantic City, New Jersey, that will be near the boardwalk. Let me give you the address of the location. Events. You go to akeeml.com, click the events tab, and it's right there. It's going to be at the Unite Here Local 54 Union Center. That's 1014 Atlantic Avenue, Atlantic City, New Jersey, 08401. $200 online and $200 cash at the door only. I hope to see you there. We're going to be going over a lot of stuff: driver's license correction, SS5 correction, birth certificate correction, stop IRS and child support denials, proper W-9 and W-8 form. Those forms you will get free of charge for attending that seminar on August the 31st. All right? So be there, because the birth certificate correction, I will go over the actual petition, the one I've been showing at the last few seminars that I've done. Someone just sent me good news. They did the driver's license or the ID correction with the state, and they did it with no problems, no hindrance. See, these are people that have faith in what they're doing. And so because they have faith, they're getting the results. There's not a week that goes by since I've really been pushing this passport, correcting the nationality, that someone doesn't email me and say, hey, I got my passport. I'm in there. What's the next step? I'm in. Speaking on next steps, so if you get your passport, if you've done it with me, the full process, you're gonna get you got to correct the SS5, you got to correct the driver's license. Those are all part of the process. Also, as we get more and more people in, and nationals are being putting their status out there, there's some books I'm gonna be telling you to go get. One of the books, and I don't even have it because it's a hard to get book, but I'm putting it out there. Maybe we all a good team effort. Somebody will find these books somewhere, but it's out of stock on Amazon. And the book you need to get is called "Organizing Your Estate" by Holmes F. Crouch. That's the book. That's the book that's very hard to get. When you go read the description, you'll understand why I'm telling you to get that book, because that's just going into handling your estate, handling your trust, and your securities. So this is one of the books that you need to get. Also, another book that you might want to get, which is good to read. It's a good read. And this one is available. It's called Your Executive Duties by the same author, Holmes F. Crouch. I've been reading it. It's got examples in it, and it's really good book to read. Your Executor Duties, and there's one more book I'm waiting on to come. Let's see. The other one is Your Trustee Duties. That book is Your Trustee Duties: How to Dissect Trust Contract, Prepare Form 1041, Distribute Income and Principal to Beneficiaries, and Terminate the Trust. These are good books to read, but that one book I want to get is out everywhere. So that's the most important book to get. I'm gonna have when I have this private group, these are the books we're going to be studying out of in the private membership, so that we can all be on the same page, moving in the same direction. All right? Still, the brother that's helping me with my website, he has a regular job, and, he gets tied up with some things, but he's almost done. We're almost there. I'm just, we're patiently waiting. When it's time for us to move, we'll be ready. So just be there and have your stuff together, so when we move, we can go take care of business. All right, tonight, this Thursday, on the MOOR Empire Building Show, I told you guys I would do the Rule 5.1. I would read that and show you how to execute that. That's part of the process. It's not the whole process. people have gotten the misunderstanding, just put the 5.1, put my DBA in, and I'm good. No. That's only part of the puzzle. That's only a piece. People have done that in the past, long time ago, and it had some results. But as we know, this system evolves as we evolve. As we learn more, they learn from us, and they start putting things in place that's going to slow you down. So you got to come fully armed when you come in, against these entities. You have to come fully prepared. So when you think of a complaint, you get a traffic ticket, you get, even a serious charge. It's a drug charge. That's a complaint. And all complaints must be responded to by way of a motion to dismiss right off the bat, or, you're going to do your affirmative defenses, which is the denial. But it always has to be supported with your side of the story. You do your affirmative defenses, and then you have to have a brief that supports your affirmative defense. Okay? I'm using these terms, affirmative defenses, because these are the terms that they recognize. When they see that, and then you're putting in your position as your special appearance when you're coming into court, it looks better, and you do not look like, or what they perceive to be, a sovereign citizen. You look like someone who's coherent and knows procedure. A lot of people are wanting to jump and do something because they have a small smidgen of information and they want to do it, and they don't really understand what they're doing. Like I had somebody call me today, and they want to do, I want to do the passport. I want to do the passport. And I could tell they knew nothing about why they were doing the passport. I want to do it for my CPN. I'm like, okay, you're not doing a passport for your CPN so you can get credit is not the goal here for doing a passport as a national. And I had to kindly turn that money down. Like, okay, I suggest you watch some videos of mine, listen to the show more, get familiar with what I teach before you go jumping in wanting to spend money to get something, and then you realize it's not what you want. And, of course, that person really didn't like pushing them off that way. But I don't want customers who are uneducated as to what I do, because that's going to give me headaches down the line. Oh, I didn't know this was going to do this. I didn't know this is not what I expected. What did you expect? No, you were looking for a remedy to CPN so you can use credit. You wasn't looking for a remedy to pull yourself up out of the system to be a national, to be not looked at as a U.S. citizen. To me, that's more important than a credit card or a CPN. Because once I'm on that side, and people know what's been happening, student loans got wiped out, cases disappeared, all kinds of good things are happening. See, that's the person that didn't see the bigger picture. They're looking at a small, narrow hole. CPN, credit. I screwed up my credit, now I'm going to use CPN. I'm going to do this. No, I turned that money down. I was like, no, go look at the videos. Go understand who I am and how I do business. Because, I know somebody referred you and gave you my number to call me about the CPNs. Yeah, watch those videos, do that, educate yourself. You'll appreciate what I'm saying later on. All right, Rule 5.1. Let's get into it. I can't put links in the chat, so just type in Rule 5.1. It's going to pull it up. All right? Let me see if I got a sample 5.1 that I've done. I not see. I got one. Oh, let's see. Oh, yeah, I have one right here. All right. That's the affidavit in support. And then this is the actual 5.1. All right. So let's read the rules first, and then we'll read the one I've actually done. All right. All right. Okay. Rule 5.1, constitutional challenge to a statute. That's under Title Federal Civil Procedures, Title 2, commencing in action, service of process, pleadings, motions, and orders. Rule 5.1, constitutional challenge to a statute. So that's how you would locate that. It says, A, notice by a party that files a pleading, written motion, or other paper drawing into question the constitutionality of a federal or state statute must promptly. Now, keep in mind, right? A lot of these states' courts will say, oh, that's a federal rule. But it just said federal or state statute. Now, a lot of states have the same identical statute, like there was one in Texas and a couple other states. So if you're going to refer to the statute, try to find the one that's identical to your state and use that one. And if you're going to put the statute on your paper, I prefer you just write it out instead of using Rule 5.1. Just put it in brackets. You know, put it in four corners. All right? File a notice of constitutional question stating the question and identifying the paper that raises it. So, it says file a notice of constitutional question. Right? Stating the question and identifying the paper that raises it. So you got to state the question and then identify the paper. Meaning, so if it's a traffic ticket, you have to point to that traffic ticket and the statute is using to identify what you're talking about. It says if a federal statute is questioned and the parties do not include the United States, one of its agencies, or one of its officers or employees in an official capacity. Or B, a state statute is questioned and the parties do not include the state, one of its agencies, or one of its officers or employees in an official capacity. And 2, serve the notice and paper on the Attorney General of the United States if a federal statute is questioned, or on a state attorney general if a state statute is questioned, either by certified or registered mail, or by sending it to an electronic address designated by the attorney general for this purpose. So it says you can do it by certified or registered mail, or by sending it to an electronic address designated by the attorney general for this purpose. So some states must have a place you can just electronically send it to them. Okay, B, certification by the court. The court must, under 28 U.S.C. Section 2403, let's look that up. 28 U.S.C. 2403. Well, let's see what that says. I don't think we ever went that far and read that before. Okay. 28 U.S.C. says intervention by United States or a state constitutional question. A, in an action, suit, or proceeding in a court of the United States to which the United States or an agency, officer, or employee thereof is not a party, wherein the constitutionality of an act of Congress affecting the public interest is drawn in question. The court shall certify this fact to the Attorney General. So they're saying that the court, meaning the clerk of court, must certify that you are drawing a statute into question, and shall permit the United States to intervene for a presentation of evidence, if evidence is otherwise admissible in the case, and for argument on the question of constitutionality, the United States shall, subject to the applicable provisions of law, have all the rights of a party and be subject to all liabilities of a party as the court costs to the extent necessary for a proper presentation of the fact, the law relating to the question of constitutionality. B, in any action, suit, or proceeding in a court of the United States to which a state or any agency, officer, or employee thereof is not a party, wherein the constitutionality of the statute of that state affecting the public interest is drawn in question, the court shall certify such fact to the Attorney General of the state and shall permit the state to intervene for presentation of evidence. So basically what you're saying is once it's certified to the Attorney General, the court must allow the attorney to intervene in that proceeding in order to admit evidence as to say whether it's a constitutional, it's against the Constitution or not. All right? If evidence is otherwise admissible in the case for an argument and for argument on the question of constitutionality, the state shall subject to the applicable provisions of law, have all the rights of a party, and be subject to all liabilities of a party as the court costs to the extent necessary for a proper presentation of the facts and law relating to the question of constitutionality. All right, there you go. That's what 28 U.S.C. Section 24.3, what they are supposed to do. All right. C, intervention, final decision on the merits. Unless the court sets a later time, the Attorney General may intervene within 60 days after the notice is filed or after the court certifies the challenge, whichever is earlier. So, but it's saying that the Attorney General may intervene within 60 days, but he don't have to. Or he may intervene after the court has certified to him. Now, a lot of these courts are not certifying to the Attorney General that you have entered a constitutional challenge. That's what they're supposed to do. So if they have not done that, right, that's the issue you can raise. Have you certified these, that I have raised this constitutional question? You got to ask them. You got to move and ask them to do that because the clock doesn't start until they do that. The 60 days does not start. So if you go on and put a constitutional question 6 months ago and they haven't certified to the Attorney General and put him on notice, see, you have to put him on notice, but the Attorney General cannot move, will not move until the court has certified that you have done it. And they don't do it. The judges just say deny, deny, deny. And the judge can't deny that. That's not a motion he can deny or grant because it's out of his jurisdiction. It's a political question. And he is not a member of Congress who makes laws. So he can't say whether it's constitutional or not. Furthermore, a judge can't even practice law from the bench. For him to certify that statute is constitutional or not is for him to practice law. All a judge's job is to do is to hear facts and compare them to the rule of law and make a decision on that. But judges don't do that. Most judges don't even know the rule of law that they even ruling on. That brings me to another point. You know, I want to point something out to y'all, right? Let's pull up a constitution. Let's pull up the South Carolina Constitution. I want to show y'all something that we forget about when it comes to judges. All right. In the Constitution, it says the provision that where it talks about trials by jury, right? All trials must be done by a trial by jury. Let's find that in this. It's Section 14 of the Bill of Rights of the South Carolina Constitution. It says the right of trial by jury shall be preserved inviolate. Right? Any person charged with an offense shall enjoy a right to a speedy and public trial by impartial jury. Now, let's look at what that says completely. You have to pay attention to words. It said a trial by jury. It didn't say trial by jury plus judge. That a judge. So if a judge is sitting in there directing a jury, then he is influencing the jury's decision. So how can you ever get a fair trial if a judge is sitting on the bench controlling traffic? See, real court, real trial, it says by jury. It doesn't say, okay, you got to trial by jury, but a judge will oversee the jury to make sure they understand what they're supposed to do. So if a judge is in there with them during the trial and interfering with the trial periodically, you're not getting a fair trial. Because it said trial by jury. So the only people that's supposed to be hearing the case and adjudicating, making decisions on the case is a jury. But, you know, these courts are set up fraudulently, so they stick a judge in there. The only reason why you believe a judge is supposed to be in there is because you saw it on TV. Or you go to the court, they're there. But because you associate what you see on these different Perry Masons and a Law and Order and all of this stuff, you think that's the way it's supposed to be done. But the Constitution is clear. The federal Constitution, the state Constitution, you're only supposed to be tried by a trial by jury. And it said preserved inviolate, meaning no matter what, you should always supposed to have a trial by jury. It's not even a choice. It's a requirement. You see? All right. Now let's go back to 5.1. All right. Then, okay, I said 60 days after the notice is filed or after the court certifies the challenge, whichever is earlier. Before the time to intervene expires, the court may reject the constitutional challenge, but may not enter a final judgment holding the statute unconstitutional. So they're saying the court can reject the constitutional challenge. I mean, what do they mean, reject? Not even hear it or rule on it. He can't say denied. He can just, we're not going to hear that, reject it. But may not enter a final judgment holding the statute unconstitutional. So when he denies it, he's saying, you know, it is constitutional. He can't do that. Okay? D, no forfeiture. A party's failure to file and serve the notice or the court's failure to certify does not forfeit a constitutional claim or defense that is otherwise timely asserted. So if the court doesn't certify, it doesn't further forfeit your constitutional claim or defense. So you can bring that up in your appeal process if you get railroaded. All right, so let's go to an actual Rule 5.1 that I did. And even reading this again, I see there's some improvements I can make with the one I got here. All right? Now, it says, notice the Constitution challenge the statute and motion to intervene, right? Take notice that pursuant to FRCP Rule 5.1a, the defendant listed in the above styled action will make an application for short leave to be granted for the application and relief under 24.1 of the FRCP on the following ground: challenge the Constitution of state statutes, SCCA Section 56-05-2120, and there's three other things, right? But it says, draw in that rule, this is where I said there's an improvement that needs to be made. Where I have the statutes, I have to draw in attention to the paper. So the paper would be citation, if it's a traffic ticket, right? So I would put citation number, the citation number, and then the code, the citation number and the date it was issued, and the code that it was using or the charge it was using, that statute it was using. So that's the addition that I would make, because you said draw attention to the paper that you are challenging. And I would also, since he's charging you and putting a dollar amount, he's basically convicting you on the side of the road without a trial by jury. So in your constitutional challenge, you could draw attention that that paper is in violation of the provision that I just read in the Constitution, which I know most people are not using that trial by jury in their constitutional challenge. Because for him to say, oh, I'm charging you with this, oh, yeah, you can pay this, you know, here's the fee for that. He just convicted. He said, if you want to do it, here's the fee. He's giving you a fine amount. They let the cop tell you what the fees are. He's supposed to just make the complaint. First of all, you need someone else to make the complaint, and he draws up the report, get a judge to sign off on it. You see? So all of these traffic tickets are bogus. You know, when you're charged with crimes or offenses where there is no victim, the state is acting as a victim. The state can never be a victim. It's an entity. It's a thing. It's a corporation. It can never be a victim. There is no victim when you're speeding. So when he says you committed an offense, against whom? A corporation? Where are your freedoms? So basically what I'm saying is in your constitutional challenge, you need to put that citation number, the date it was written, and the code along with it in your constitutional challenge. All of that. As it says, draw attention to the paper. Let's go back and read it. We got to be, it says, serve the notice and paper on the attorney. So you must submit that citation as evidence that this ticket is unconstitutional. You need to submit that. That's part of your exhibit. And then, if I'm on my paper and I'm writing it out, I'm saying, after I draw attention to the citation number, the date, and the statute, I'm going to say, see Exhibit A attached here too. And that would be my me telling the paper. That's making it complete. It's been saying it the whole time. Here's why we make these type of errors. And we make a lot of errors in the things we do. We listen to people teaching things, and we don't go back and read these things for ourselves to see what they missed. I don't mind people pointing out, hey, I noticed this little part, and then we could go over it and we could discuss it. You see? And if I agree, I agree. If I don't agree, I don't agree. But never I had a person who we working on some tax things, and he's working with me for some months now. He's got progress, but sometimes people like to get advice from other people. I don't have a problem with you getting advice from other people, but don't expect the same results as my other people who don't let other people interfere with what I'm doing to be the same. But anyway, so there was some verbiage. Some of y'all gonna be doing these things. It's called the revocation of election to the IRS. Those people that's going to be doing that is people who have done their stuff to the IRS paperwork. Their national passport with me. That's what takes you out of their system. That's part of the process. It's not the whole thing, but it's part of that process of taking out of your system. But I haven't presented that yet because we're in the first phase, and then we go into the second phase to shut all that down. But anyway. So he got another revocation of election from someone else and chose to use that. Now, I didn't create the revocation of election form. I got it from a group that I've been working with taxes. But they got a lot of terms in there that make you a U.S. citizen, but they believe it means you're not a U.S. citizen. I know different. So I had to take that form and edit it and make sure that there was no reference in that paperwork that made you a U.S. citizen. So he didn't use the one I gave him. I said, you just went out and went back in. Went out one door and went in another door. He's like, oh, explain that. I said, well, that's the reason why I have my show. I teach these things, But, hey, let me know how that works out. I don't get upset about those things, You want to do that. People have choices to listen to whoever they want. But don't get mad at the results, because I get results. All right? So back to the 5.1. I'm going to reiterate. Name the citation. That's the paper. Or even name, like if you've been busted for drugs, you're going to name the complaint that they wrote up and how it's unconstitutional. You got to name it. It says it. Identify the paper that's raising the constitutional challenge. See, these are the things we overlooking, but we getting better now. We're going to do better. As time goes on, we do better. So, let's go back to mine. And in here, in mine, I'm not going to read all because it's almost 8. I use the Constitution. Right of people to be secure in their persons, papers, houses, effects, unreasonable search and seizures. And that's usually what happens when you get pulled over. That's an unreasonable search and seizure. When they stop you, you can't go of your own free will. They have seized you momentarily. That's basically an arrest without actually going off to the building. Due process has been violated. Bills of attainder, all kinds of stuff is going on in there. All right? All right. What else? Now, on top of that, notice the Constitution challenge, you need to have a brief in support of that. The reason why I have an affidavit or a brief in support of the Constitution challenge is that's where I get to state facts. And basically I say my name, and then I put DBA, last comma, first, middle, which is all in all caps, DBA, first, middle, last, all caps. Then I'll put a national, but not a citizen of the United States, or an American national, more American national, New Yorker national, but not a citizen of the United States. I put that right at the head of all my paperwork. And whoever I do it for, I put that there. And then I put 1. I have personal knowledge of the facts set forth herein, and if called and affirmed, I will be competent to testify to the matters stated herein. 2, on said date, I have specific dates, the city of whoever the police department is, and I also named the officer on the paperwork as stated on uniform citation as listed above, unlawfully stopped me without a warrant in violation of 1895 Constitution of the State of South Carolina. 3, I was immediately questioned and not given notice of my Fifth Amendment rights. 4, I gave notice that a warrant was needed to proceed in this investigation. My declaration was ignored. Under duress and intimidation, I gave the officer my lawful international driving permit. This is somebody I was helping with. Actually, this is my son's case. And that's the case that went bye-bye, disappeared. But these are the things we did. Then I said the officer proceeded to violate my unalienable rights protected by the 1895 Constitution of the State of South Carolina, where it states in Article 1, Declaration of Rights, 10, searches and seizures, invasions of privacy, the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures and unreasonable invasions of privacy shall not be violated. And no warrant shall issue but upon probable cause supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched, the personal thing to be seized, and the information to be obtained. So basically, they can't just arbitrarily walk up to you without having specific things in hand first. Constitution is clear. You see? These were all done within 3 days of the incident. So, listen, y'all got to get on it. and follow and read these things. Don't trust me because I may miss something. Sometimes I do. We've been teaching on 5.1. I've been teaching on 5.1 for years now, and I'm adding more to it. Why? Because now I'm focused more. I don't have interference in my head, so I can look at things with a fresh set of eyes, more open mind. You see? So there it is. This is 5.1. Go ahead and do your business. All right. Raise your hand if you have a question. I'm going to take a short break and go get me some water. Let's see. Be right back. All right, peace. I'm back. That's right. It's time for us to wake up. Yes, that's true. A lot of people are caught up in their thoughts in a negative way. It's good to be caught up in your thoughts in a positive way, but a lot of people are caught up in thoughts chaos. And why this person did this, and who's that, and who's doing that. You know, their mind is just racing on negative things and looking to confront, having confrontations in their mind before they even happen. And I think that's the reason why a lot of people need opposition when they go to these courthouses. Cause, you know, they're trying to file their paperwork because they already got the thought of opposition already played out in their mind. They have been envisioned this, visualized. Oh, this clerk is going to be like this. And, you know, brothers, we have gotten into this habit of doing this, and we got to stop doing that. We have this habit of saying all our sisters got attitudes, and we anticipate that from our sisters. You know, if you visualize that, you anticipate that, that's the type of attitude you're going to get. I've tried this. I have actually experimented with this. I said, today, I'm going to think every sister out there is going to be positive towards me. They're going to have a positive attitude. And guess what happens? The way I present myself to them becomes positive, and then it's returned. You know, like at the post office, you know, sometimes they're a little, that's a tough job. You know, they got to tell you, do this survey every time they print out a thing. Oh, do you want any more stamps? Oh, is there any more liquids in here? They got to say the same thing over and over and over again. I would get tired of doing that. And, you know, so go to the post office and I just start making small comments. Hey, how's everything going? Yeah, I see y'all busy today. Man, hope you have a good day. Say things. Then all of a sudden, smiles get on their face because somebody is paying attention and actually interested in their well-being, where most people slide their money across the counter and I want a mail list. And a lot of times people don't even know how to mail stuff. You'd be surprised how people don't know how to mail stuff. And they handing their whole thing to them here and they want them to do everything for them. Now, you deal with that a few times a day, you would have an attitude too. Now, but I've experimented when my attitude was positive, the treatment that I got was positive. So I had to dig down deep and really admit that most of the negative responses I was getting because I assumed I was going to get a negative response. And that happens, that's just with anybody. You got to be mindful of these things. You can't just keep saying, because if you promote the idea that all of our sisters are bad attitudes, they nasty, they snap their heads all quick. If you keep promoting that idea, that's gonna keep happening. We have to ignore that because yes, people do give attitudes unnecessarily. That's true, but we must overlook that. You know, we say forgive our brother 77 times, 7 times. Overlook that and continue to remain in a positive mindset. Do not feed into that because you can change a heart and face with something kind. You can change that. So it's up to us to be deliberate on how we think and perceive people. Our perception is creating 99.9% of our reality. All right, let me get to the phone lines. Remember the rules. Speak positive into your life. Put your hands up if you got a question. Press the 1. If you don't, that's okay. But if you have one, do it now. 'Cause as soon as I'm finished the calls, I'm out. Enjoy the rest of my weekend and get to work. I got a bunch of consultations tomorrow. I got to prepare for. All right. Let's go to 773-383. Peace.
Yo, peace. What's going on, Akeem?
Hey, what's going on? Not much. What's going on with you?
Man? Hey, man, I'm doing wonderful, man. This Marquise Bay. I've been hitting you up a little bit here and there.
Peace. What's going on?
Hey, yo, man, my kids getting ready for school, my son and my daughter, and I've been very, very spiritually inclined through a lot of teachings. And really appreciate everything you've been showing and everything that I've been taking in and the way it's been working out for me, and all my remedies for the last 3.5 years came straight from you. And I really appreciate you. I'm grateful for that knowledge.
You saying that. I appreciate that,
yeah.
Man. I'm glad you're getting remedy. Now you just spread that knowledge
Definitely.
on. You pass it on, you know?
Oh, I do. People who ask, I show them your website. I show them, a lot of different things in the law right there on the website. These are government sites. It's public information, not to be scared and to check it out and look into it. And, yeah, I look at a lot of different things, reading and books and stuff like that and studying. And I've been actually executing a lot of different things and taking my time and going over the steps and before I do things to make sure I got it right. But at the same time, it's better to just sometimes go at it and feel it while you're doing it, and then to learn how to, fall off your bike with the training wheels and then get on it without the training wheels and ride with no hands. So I'm all the way with it.
You're right. You're absolutely right. Man, that's good to hear, man, that you're getting the remedy and you're studying hard to get it. The remedy don't come without study.
I took a whole page of notes just off today's show. I take notes off every show and re-listen to them over and over, and I study over and over on the way to work, on the way home when I was doing sharecropping. And then, all day, every day, especially on the weekends, I ain't going out, I ain't at the mall, I ain't kicking it or none of that. I'm really stuck into this because this will get me all of that. Like Mom said back in the day, playtime gonna always be there. So it's like, man, kicking it and hanging out and all those distractions. I call it modern day distraction. That's what I call it. What everybody's going through and dealing with, modern day distractions. That's what I call it.
Right. Hanging out ain't what it used to be. When we used to hang out, we used to have just genuine fun. It wasn't about fighting and competing with each other. Now it's a lot of extra stuff going on with hanging out. A lot of jealousy. Yeah. You hanging out with fake friends. Competing with each other for what they got on and what they got. Yeah.
I'm from Chicago, so it's like you got to know what's going on in the area before you go out. You got to know who's going to be there before you get there. And then when you get there, you got to try to find a comfort zone, but it's kind of eerie. And then when you say you're having a good day is a night that it wasn't no violence. That's a good day, whether you like the music or the people or not. It's not that bad. But it's not like it used to be. So, yeah, I just wanted to chime in and tell you, you know what I'm saying, keep up the good work. I appreciate you. It's all spiritual. I really don't know where I'll be at to this day without listening to you daily. I really don't. And I'm just keeping that real from the heart.
Man, I appreciate you saying that. Thank you. Man, you keep it up, though. Keep it up.
Yeah. No doubt. A shout out to Xavier, too. Akeem Jr., you know what I'm saying? That's my man. I appreciate it. Yeah.
All right.
And good looking out on bringing us Dr. Solomon, man. Good looking out on that. Good looking out on bringing us Dr. Solomon. I love that.
He's the real deal. I'm trying to get Dr. Daniels back on, but she's so hard to catch up with. I'm gonna get her though.
Oh yeah. Okay.
All right. Okay,
no doubt. All right. Peace to God, man. Peace.
All right. I guess I did that lesson really well because there's not a lot of hands up, so I'll let y'all know. As soon as I get to the last call, I'm out. All right, 715-501. Peace. What's up?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You sound far away, but I can hear you.
Oh, that's crazy. I have a couple questions. What was the name of that book you were talking about?
What book you talking about? I named a couple of books. Huh?
No, the author of the book.
The name of the author is Holmes F. Crouch. Holmes F. Crouch. All three of those books was written by the same man, Holmes F. Crouch. He's got a bunch of books out.
Okay.
Holmes F. Crouch.
That
He got a bunch of them.
And also, I was guilty. I was listening to the Reverend Knight that you were playing earlier, and I was guilty of, you know, when you talk to your kids, you want them to be better, and you try pushing them, but you know, I wasn't always uplifting, and you know,
I think all of us parents are guilty of that at some point.
Yeah, now I feel guilty thinking about it. But, you know, I start pushing them, and I'm going to start doing more positivity with them. Try to get to, you know, not be so, you know, always be thinking positive. But another question I had, last week you were talking about the name change, partly. And I have a question, like, was it really, I think you said that it wasn't really necessary for the name change, I think you said?
You don't have to if you don't want to. If you've already done it, that's fine, but it's not like, I'm not teaching it like, oh, you need to change your name in order for you to get your nationality straight, because most people who got their passport didn't change their name. And, you know, those student loans got discharged.
Now, if you did change your name, because I'm still using both names, I'm still using my old name. Now, can you go back and change it back to the old name?
You can do whatever. You can change your name as many times as you want.
Okay. Because I thought I remember when all this first started.
Now, you got to remember, the name is never going to change on a birth certificate.
The original name?
The original name, unless you go in there and have a court order drawn up for it to change. But you don't have to go there and change the birth certificate name.
Yeah, that's what I did. I changed the birth certificate name. So I had to go court order. And I thought the whole reason.
If you want to go back, that's up to you. You don't have to do that. You've already done it.
What?
I mean, I say that because a lot of people don't want to change their name. Or, you know, put L, Bay, and all of that on the end of their name. Some people don't want to do that.
Yeah. I thought back in the beginning, I thought the purpose was to change the name, take on a new name, and then the two birth certificates you claim on both, and they what do you call it? They offset it in some way, and something about the trust of it. I thought that was the reason.
Really? I don't see how changing the name, you change the name, how does it create another trust? Unless you create the trust.
No. Okay. All right. I
now, you never heard me teach that.
No, it was the name.
You never heard me say that. Because you got to think, I'm just changing the name. How am I creating another? Okay, I put it on the birth certificate now. That's two. I mean, in a way, you are creating. If you put it on the social, you're going to create another straw man. You know, with that name. But it's not from what is revealing itself now. It's not necessary. It's not a requirement.
Yeah. What if when you change it back? Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I thought back in the beginning, I thought that was necessary. What if you change it back? Are they going to make you go and get a social again, or now that you know, if you change it back?
Same process. You didn't get a social with the new one. Did you do that? You didn't put it on the social with the new one. No. It's the same. If you change your name, has the same procedures as if you changed it the first time. There's no difference.
Okay, and then, but what I'm saying is that are they gonna say go and apply for a Social Security? Would that mean that my old name will no longer have a social then?
I can't tell you what they're gonna say. You're asking me a question that only they can answer. I can't answer and tell you what they're gonna tell you to do.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I've never changed my name and then changed it back, so I don't know exactly what happens until somebody tells me what happened.
Yeah.
You know.
Now, what I was gonna say, I thought also when you keep your old name, I know you were talking about, like, never mind. I don't remember what it was. Okay.
Mm-mm.
All right. I'll do that then. Okay.
Not, you see, from what I've been seeing and things that have been happening when it comes to the things about security, there was no name change required. It was just, you just need to have your affairs in order. There's a reason why I'm telling you how to get those books, to read those books.
Yeah.
It's all about having your affairs in order.
Now, are there any consequences? Now that I got the new name, can I still use the old name on everything? Or
You can use whatever you want. You see, again, you're asking me questions I can't answer. What consequences are you talking about?
Like saying, oh, you're not that person. Yeah, okay.
You never was that person in the first place.
I understand that. Okay. All right, that's it. That's all I got then.
All right.
Yeah, I'll just kind of just
all right.
About that. All right, thank you, Akeem.
All right.
Peace.
All right. That was it. It was only two people that had their hand up. So that I told you. That's why I was warning y'all. Y'all that had a question. Put your hand up. What? All right. Thanks for letting me get the half the night off. All right. I'll talk to y'all on Tuesday. What am I going to talk about on Tuesday? I'll let y'all know next week. I got a lot to talk about. So next Tuesday, y'all have a good one. Peace. Have a good weekend. And peace, prosperity, extreme wealth to all.